Greetings to my team of 144, all starseeds, Loveworkers, and Wayshowers. It is 710-2019. Massive waves coming in. This is becoming the new norm with these cosmic rays, these cosmic winds, massive energies. Many people are feeling it as vibrations, frequencies in the body. Some people are feeling heart palpitations, some pulsing in the brain, and vibrations throughout the field, the energy field of the body. These are just signs of this ascension energies that are coming in. Some things coming into the field today from Tom Price on the positive side of 2012, reporting that we are at the midnight hour, meaning we're at the edge, we're right on the precipice through this great breakthrough, what we're calling Operation Breakthrough, breaking through to the other side, to the higher realms. There's many other signs coming in, many symbols, signs coming into the field. From Rapture at Twilight, they're getting many signs of, for 717, 717, the King returns. There was an image that they posted, the King, which Christ was the King of the Jews. And there's this symbolism. I think Disney's releasing a movie, a remake of The Lion King, and it's coming out on 717. But it also, in the Bible codes, the second Passover in the Gospel of John, and the seventh day of the Sabbath will be at 717 in the twilight. So this 12th hour, the midnight hour, meaning that is the end of the Ouroboros. We're also with this Q energy, that's the 17th letter of the alphabet, the Q from Quell, or Quelle, from meaning the source. I think that's in Latin, which is breaking the timeline loop, the prison of the loop, the Ouroboros, the wheel of time, the wheel of birth and death. These rainbow energies coming in, and I want to clarify the lion energy. Now, the lion also is a symbol of Christ, the golden mane, the golden light of the Son of God, and also the fire energies. Fire, the burning of the old. Fire is the heart center. Cor Leon, the heart of the lion. Also in Chinese philosophy and medicine, the heart is the fire element, the five elements. The heart and the small intestines. Each element of the five has two organs for each element. There's a yin organ and a yang organ. So the fire is in the middle. Pyramid comes from that, fire in the middle. And Leo the lion, is the heart. And you see that symbolism throughout history of the avatars and the messiahs and the ascended masters. Many times you see that flame in the center of the being. And that's the middle Dantian in the Taoist philosophy. Now when you look at the chakras of the Hindu, many yogis teach the 7 chakras, and those are the 7 colors of the electromagnetic spectrum. And if you don't know, for those that don't, I'm sure most of you know, the electromagnetic spectrum is the rainbow colors, the 7 colors of the rainbow. And electromagnetism, the 2 forces in nature, electricity and magnetism. So that one white light, the still white light, goes through the prism, and that color is broken up into the 7 colors. So the 7 chakras follow that color of the rainbow, the root being red, which is the lowest on the electromagnetic spectrum. Below that's infrared. And then from the red, the sacral, the orange, to the solar, the yellow, the heart, the green, the throat, the blue, the third eye, the violet. And then above that you have the ultraviolet into the gold, silver, and then the white, which is the source, which is the Q. And there was also a book written called The Lost Gospel of Q, which is a controversial book, but it was the lost teachings of Christ, the Christian teachings. And also we have the Library of Nag Hammadi, which is part of my library, which is the ancient Coptic Christian text where the terms like Archon and the Mythosophia come from. The archonic teachings, the teachings of the corruption of the matrix. The divine matrix got corrupted or got shifted into the dark polarities, which was part of an experiment, which that experiment's ended because we have gone through that separation programming. We have lived out the full spectrum of the 64 code, where we're transitioning to the code of the 144, the 12-strand DNA. And we're at the midnight hour. We're on the verge of what is being called the grand event, the great event. Now, of course, these event energies have been coming into the field since 2012, and even before that, these waves, these 3 waves, and then now into the consistent waves, which is raising the frequency of Gaia. The Schumann resonance has been spiking the last couple days at 100 hertz. And we're holding steady for longer periods at 50 hertz, which is that 5D frequency, the 5D energy. In the electromagnetic spectrum also, we have the red, white, and blue. Now the founding fathers of the U.S. countries knew the codes of these colors. The red, white, and the blue, and which is in the flag of the United States. You have the 3 dantians, that's the Trinity. The blue is of the water. The red is of the fire, and the white is in the middle. So we're fluctuating in between the red and the blue. Now the blue, many times, the water is the feminine, the red, the masculine, and the red many times could be the lower dantian, the blue, the upper dantian. The downward flow is the water path, the upward of the kundalini is the fire rising. And we're bringing together, we're bridging, the rainbow bridge is bridging together the red and the blue into the middle of the white in the middle. The still white magnetic light at the center of all things. So the 73, which symbolizes heaven, is coming into the field. The 37 earth, we're merging the 73 with the 37. The 444 is coming into the field. My last video, when I checked, it had 1,444 views and 73 comments. So let us know in the comments below what you're experiencing. I know many of you have gone through intense energies. I know I had last night had many intense dreams and some very bizarre dreams. I woke up feeling a little nauseous, which, that's the expansion of the lower dantian, or the stomach chakra. The sacral chakra is expanding as we're grounding deep into the grid. We're grounding our codes that are coming in through our heart center, expanding out into the new earth. Also, yesterday, the Saturn was the closest to the Earth through the year. And also, Saturn-Sun opposition with Saturn at 17 Capricorn and Sun at 17 Cancer, marking the midpoint of the Saturn retrograde and illuminating the powerful alignment of Saturn with the South Node, also 17 Capricorn, and Pluto at 22 Capricorn. This is from Shamanic Astrology Mystery School. So there's also alignments with planets. Plus, the Sun and North Node are in 17 Cancer. You may be experiencing this as an opportunity to connect with your past self, with the intent to create a different, better, more magical story impacting our present self, to take wise action that will take us to the future we are dreaming into being. It starts with recreating our relationship to the past, learning from it, forgiving, and moving forward with kindness and caring for ourselves, each other, and the Earth. As the Earth is between the Sun and Saturn now, similar to what happens during a full moon. So we're also transitioning in 7 days. The 717, which will be the full moon and the partial lunar eclipse. Also, from Elizabeth Peru, 6 planetary retrogrades. There are 10 known and significant planetary bodies in our solar system, and currently 6 of them are moving in reverse relative to Earth, Chiron, Mercury, Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, all happening in the eclipse doorway of opportunity. If you've been neglecting soul's messages, what's for your highest good and significant issues in your life, then more than likely now all will be presented at once. We all feel planetary movements at a cellular level, whether we're aware or not of our relationship to the universe. Great opportunity is at hand. Also, it's been 1 month under the new Earth frequencies since June 10th. We entered in the new Earth 5D energy template. This is also from Elizabeth Peru. Have you seen a difference and upshift in your life over the past month? Is your waking reality quickening? Are you drawing to you that which you've desired? Are your efforts producing greater results? I'm seeing this each day and loving the 5D shift of the Earth, the removal of dense negative layer around our energy field. Remember now more than ever, what you focus on you create, for good or not. So we are manifesting the new Earth with our energy fields, with our intent, with our will. Today's transmission is from Judith Kusel, under the 7th central sun, the Sirius portal via Giza to the 7th central sun of Illumination, the sun gates opening via Sirius to the 7th central sun of Illumination. In ancient times, when the outer crust of the Earth was formed, there were certain energy portals implanted upon Earth which connect directly to the original 12 master galaxies, as reported in my book, Why I Was Born in Africa, the previously unrecorded history of Elysium and the Lion Kingdom. So there's more of that lion energy, the Lyran nation, the Lion King. The kingdom of heaven on earth is returning, the kingdom of Eden, the kingdom of paradise, the Christ consciousness, the God consciousness, the illuminated consciousness, or what we call cosmic consciousness, is returning to reawaken and rebirth the new earth and the crystalline DNA. The energy portals act as gateways, or if you like, satellite stations, which were tuned into Sirius, as Sirius holds the headquarters of the Intergalactic Council, and via this council, the Universal Ones. The portals were carefully hidden and were monitored day and night, and these acted as direct instruments, which were intricately linked to our solar system and the Milky Way galaxies. One could describe them as a many-tiered and multifunctional and operating in the 12th dimensional state. After the fall of Elysium during the Wars of Heaven, when so many of the original master galaxies were blown into oblivion and never could be repaired, the earthly portals were toned down to encapsulate the 7th dimensional state. During the Lion Kingdom, which rose on the ruins of Elysium, the first, these portals were retuned and reactivated, and specifically through 7 major centers around the world. In November of 2018, the most powerful of the portals were reopened via the African continent, and specifically the Giza pyramids, and realigned to the 7th central sun and the fires of illumination, thus systematically being returned to the planet as the planet's vibrational frequencies rise into the 5th dimensional state, and thus being returned to the 7th. This will take around 144 years, plus or minus, when the age of Aquarius gains momentum and the new golden age rises in its profundity. The next 3 years leading up to and into 2021 are going to intensify the upward curve, as the planet returning into the 5th dimensional state will be revved up. Indeed, will rise to the 7 times the frequency band it is now operating on. As the energy portals open one by one, more of the ancient energy will be released, and this will literally create intense shifts on all fronts, planetary as well as human shifts in consciousness and dimensional frequency bands. Whereas the upgrading has been intense in the last few years, it was but the kindergarten act preparing us for the immense shifts we will now have to ride through. In the next 3 years, everything will be amplified 7-fold. If we thought the upgrading was intense before, we will feel ourselves literally disintegrating at times as the old life on planet Earth falls away and the new life rises. Our crystalline bodies will be returned to be able to absorb the higher frequency bands of the fires of illumination streaming in. As the Giza portal opens up substantially, it is only open to a fraction of its capacity now. It will trigger the opening of the rest. The process is carefully monitored. If these portals would open too quickly, all life on planet Earth would disintegrate, and we would not be able to hold form anymore. Note that the planet is already going through intense shifts as the poles are melting at a rapid pace, and some life forms are already on the verge of becoming extinct. Humanity at large is going through intense upgrading, and thus a lot of souls will simply exit the planet as their soul contracts move into completion to make way for a wave of new human race to be born. The land masses will start to reform and reinvent themselves. Remember that this is not the first time this has happened. Since the Elysium, we have had the Lion Kingdom, and after the Lion Kingdom, as my book on France states, the next 3 before Atlantis rose. Atlantis was the last to go through intense destruction and through total chaos recreated the world, as huge land masses sunk beneath the sea and continents were ripped apart. The opening of the massive Stargate portals which link to Sirius will tune us into the higher mind, the higher heart, and the deepest reconnection to our own souls, as the veils of amnesia are lifted, and our clear seeing will return as the veils are stripped off our third eyes. This is already happening. During my tours to Greece and Egypt, I and those who were called to join me will be working intense with these Stargate portals. The ancientness of these I cannot even try to describe here, and what will be uncovered and reactivated is profound. This is not the space to go into this, as it is a journey which works with each individual. The journey is not an outward one, it is an inward one. The fires of illumination now return, work with the full illumination of those who are ready to receive this gift. When the soul is ready, the gifting will occur. We are in for intense shifts and immense changes in the next 3 years. It is but the beginning of enormous shifts from 2021 onwards. By the end of the century, planet Earth will have changed beyond description. Such is the impetus of change and rebirth that is unstoppable yet profound, as we finally have the opportunity now to step back into our original state, the seventh dimensional state, and profound soul illumination. Such is the gift, illumination from the seventh central sun, illuminating our heart, mind, soul, and being. It is indeed the illumination of the soul, in harmony with the illumination of the planet soul, and thus the soul of the galactic core and the universal core, the divine illumination via the seventh central sun of illumination. My seminars and tours to Greece and Egypt will be life-changing, not sightseeing tours, but indeed soul-expanding as the soul memory banks open, as the work is being done, and the fires of illumination illuminate the heart, soul, mind, and being. And this is from Judith Kusel, from judithkusel.com. Now for the dream spell journey, I'm behind a day, so I'll read yesterday and today's. From yesterday, July 9th, 2019. 3 days to close the 44th Dream Spell Tzolk'in Matrix 1313 on Kin 257, the Planetary Chamber of Synchronicity. Today is coded 1313, month 13, day 13 in the Dream Spell 13 Moons calendar. The same 1313 code relates to the current cosmic moon year because the number of its bearer kin, 169, equals 13 times 13. On the other hand, the upcoming day at a time, which is July 25th, 2019, kin 13, Cosmic Skywalker, is also coded 1313, seal 13, tone 13. Therefore, the alpha and omega points of the current cosmic moon year are coded by 1313. A synchronic reminder that it exactly comes today on the vector 1313 of this cosmic moon year that is ending. So Kin 257, red planetary Earth, I perfect in order to evolve, producing synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of life force. And that was for yesterday, July 9th. For today, July 10th, we have from the Dream Spell Journey by Valum Votan and Boulogne Ilk, Kin 258, the Spectral Chamber of Endlessness. 2 days to close the 44th Galactic Spin, which will be on the 12th. The 44th Tzolk'in Cycle of the Dream Spell Matrix. July 10, NS 1.31.13.14. Kin 258, White Spectral Mirror. I dissolve in order to reflect, releasing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power doubled. Harmonic 65, Cosmic Matrix, self-regulate, universal fire of presence. So we're in this time of liberation. We are in the 12th hour of full liberation, of Operation Freedom Earth, of Operation Breakthrough, where the veil is lifting. We are on the edge of the precipice. We are on the edge of the abyss, where we dive on into the flowing energies of Divine Source, Divine Creator, and the Divine Light. So thank you all for joining me here today. It is 11:11 a.m. as I'm recording this. The gateways are open. The portals are fully opening. These intense waves are coming in. Just know, Divine Being, that you are doing great work. My team of 144 thanks you and appreciates you for all that you are doing. And know that Victory is of the light. Love has won. We cannot fail. There is no failure. We all are going to walk through this veil of forgetfulness into the rebirth, the reuniting with our higher self and our divine source, the great spirit, the great mystery. So leave a comment below on what you're experiencing in these final countdown of the Omega point, the breakthrough point. I'd like to also thank everyone joining me on the mission for the Healing Retreat Center in Ecuador, which we are using a CBD business to raise funds for this mission. And you can join us on cbdpeaceoil.com. You can check that out. The link will be in the description below. And I appreciate each and every one of you for liking, sharing these videos. The more messages or comments, the more comments, the more likes, the more shares on social media, the more that these messages will get out to the collective. And I'll be sharing with you very soon a blueprint to transmit to all love workers in this realm, for us all that are on mission to help uplift all of humanity. And I want to also, with this energy, to try to stay out of fear and know that there's nothing to worry about. I know some of the fear programming is that only certain people will transition or be raptured. Now that's an old belief system that's based on the old false matrix, where you have to believe a certain thing for God to pick and choose. The great spirit, the great mystery does not pick and choose. It's not like Santa Claus that has a list of who is naughty and nice. Now, of course, the dark ones that have been nefarious and malevolent, that have been harming humanity and life itself, will have to return to the source, to the central sun, to be transformed and reintegrated. But all those living from their heart, which means anyone with empathy, with any kind of love in their heart, will be going through this event portal, will be transitioning with all life through this returning of the divine light. So no worries, my friend. Know that you are a part of this mission. You that is listening to this transmission now, know that you are part of this event, part of the rapture, part of the transition to the new earth, to the new Eden. We are all in this together. No one will be left behind. Know that we cannot fail. We have already won. We have won the battle. We came here on mission, and there is no going back. We go forward into the light. We go through and through and through until we totally break on through to the other side, or to the other shore, beyond, 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 beyond all things, beyond duality, beyond the veil, beyond amnesia, all the way to the beginning, all the way beyond even the beginning into the great mystery. So thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all. Namaste.